Denver won the championship. Me as a Miami fan, I'm not too happy, but honestly, I knew that we weren't gonna win, so this doesn't really sting for me. I'm just, happy that Denver won as a good team. They're a team which I actually respect, and at least the team that beat my team wasn't, a team which I would have not respected a championship as much from them. I saw all the post game interviews. I'm seeing right now the celebration in the arena. I'm seeing how the guys are excited. And in my opinion, I just believe that this group was amazing. These players were dedicated. They obviously loved the journey. And you could tell that they're influenced by Jokic, as most of them have been quiet for most of the series, and they don't speak a lot and show a lot of emotions. You could tell that that was like part of the mentality and the way that they align themselves mentally just so they could win these championships. I do believe that this team has been awesome. They have been phenomenal, and in my opinion, I do love that this team is on top. I think that they're an A plus team, a class act team, a team which deserves all of their success, which they have. They have an extremely modest and great star, and honestly, they have a phenomenal coach. They have a phenomenal co-star, which in my opinion gave the best speech of the day with his championship speech, which he gave, and they just have a phenomenal culture. They're about getting it done. They're about winning. They're not about losing. They love their players. They love the people who represent them. And you could tell that this team wanted to win. They love the moment. They've loved the experiences. They have a lot of guys who deserve championships, which I'm going to get into right now. And let's break it down. What does the championship mean for this team? For Jamal and Nikola, it means a step in their careers, a step forward in their careers, as both of them have, uh, been considered stars in this league, or at least high level players for the longest now, and now they have a championship to back that up, with both of them having incredible finals performances. Jokic averaging a double double with like a 30-point double double with like 7 assists, and then Jamal averaging like 20 and 10 on 45% field goal percentage. In my opinion, this team played it phenomenally. This last game they played badly and they still found a way to win. And you could tell that this team wanted it. They have vets like Contavious Caldwell Pope, which want to win. They like to win, and they've been in that position to win before. And you could tell that that's what's on their mind right now. They're not about being in a super team where they're gonna get play and get to take a lot of shots. They're about winning games and being extremely mature about it. You could tell that their young guys are bought into this mentality, with guys like Christian Braun being so locked in, and not even like I mean, I understand that there was something going around the internet that said Christian Braun was a winner. Normally, like, he had won all of his career, so I think that he's used to that, to being at on the top. But I do believe that this team is awesome. They've showed it, and this has now put Jokic as the best player in the league by far. He had a phenomenal, historic postseason. He did everything for the Nuggets, and he carried a team to a championship in a season where people were not even expecting them to make it out of the conference finals. That's crazy. Some people didn't even expect them to get to the conference finals, the fact that they were facing against Phoenix. Now it's time for them to celebrate. I did love Jamal Murray's emotion. You could tell that through his injury and what he's gone through in his career, it means a lot to him. And the Denver Nuggets this game just played good enough basketball to win the game, and that caused them to win. I love how they played. I love how they ran themselves, and I love that they won this series and never once, disrespected or talk too much trash or did something which made them sad, in the sense of like they never got themselves down after a loss. And now that they get to celebrate like champions, people get to see that this team is awesome and that they're here to stay, or at least as Jokic is as good as he is. what I do want to talk about now is that the game itself. I wanna talk about it. And it's cool to talk about what it means for every guy. Like you guys have like Ish Smith and Josh Green, which are the two biggest journeymen probably in NBA history, and those two guys are winning championships as they're probably about to retire, or they're gonna sign like short-term minimum deals just to leave the NBA. In that fashion. In my opinion, they are well equipped and they deserve a championship. And now, we have guys who actually are able to say that they won something and that they had something substantial in their career apart from just being on a lot of teams. In my opinion, what all this does mean, though, and in the end of the day, is that the game, I want to talk about it because they played the most Denver Nuggets game of all time. It seemed like nothing was going for them in the first half as they were down like 10, right? And then they played phenomenal basketball until they could finally take a lead, right? They just played steady offense until they could take the lead, and then they won the game through clutch shots. That's been the story of Denver's lives this postseason. Denver, as a franchise, finally won a championship after they were the longest team ever since their inception to win a championship, right? So they had spent 46 years without winning anything. And in my opinion, I'm very happy for them. I do think that Miami choked heavily. They had a 10-point lead, and they did just throw that away. I believe that Bam Adebayo played a really bad game in the end of it. Right, like at the start he was phenomenal, but in the end he just looked gas and like trash. And in my opinion, Jimmy Butler, actually, I was happy from what I saw from him. He was mostly activated through the entire fourth quarter. He came to play and he tried to wield his team to victory, even though I do believe that this series is a stain on Jimmy Butler's history as a clutch performer. I do believe that we have to look at this series and go that he was really being targeted by Denver. I do want to talk about how Denver was really getting whatever they wanted this entire series and these entire playoffs. The way that they play offense, the hustle that they display, the variety of players which they have been phenomenal. They are a team which is spoiled with great players who care about the game, and they have also built a culture of playing the right way, loving the game, caring about the things that matter, and not being too focused on winning anything, just being focused on winning one game at a time until you win it. I do believe that this team is phenomenal, that Jamal Murray played phenomenal, that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world, and now all that we have to look at is what is it there for this team's next season. For Denver, it looks like they're just going to repeat maybe the championship, maybe just be back in the conference finals. But this team looks unstoppable. There doesn't seem to be a team in this league which could fully stop them, apart from maybe the Celtics. But I think their coaching is terrible. And in my opinion, for the Heat, this was their last year of gloriousness. They've had their runs, and I know that they still have Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler. But for the future, let's face it, I don't think they're making another finals. I don't think they're winning anything. And in my opinion, I just want to end the video, give some shout outs and some voiced appreciation for some of these Denver players. Shout out to Aaron Gordon for always hustling, getting great points, having phenomenal games, and consistently being phenomenal. Shout out to Christian Braun for being a huge X factor in this series when his team didn't have any and when they didn't expect him to do much since he's so young. Shout out to Bruce Brown for coming up big in this last game and in game 4-2 where he dropped like 30 points. Shout out to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for consistently making tough shots and being great for the team. Shout out to Jeff Green for consistently being the vet, being able to bring some energy to the game and loving what they do. And obviously, and the most important people, Shout out to Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray for winning the Denver Nuggets the 2023 NBA championship and becoming champions and legends of this game and stamping their seal on history.